everybody, and welcome to our last video of 2022, where we'll be sharing our opinions on certain things that we had found interesting throughout this year. And to introduce a brand new character that will be joining us in 2023, Bluey! Do you mean Blue? Oh, sorry, Blue. It's that one Paramount Plus ad. I was just kind of making a reference to that. Okay, then. But anyway, yes. Let's get on with the first topic. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was probably our most anticipated movie of this year. And it definitely lived up to the hype. At least in our eyes. Heck yeah, that movie was awesome! It had speed, it had action, it had adventure, and it had Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. Jim Carrey blew me away as Dr. Robotnik. He really gave his all. Yeah. Plus, Knuckles' voice alone made him a great character. I overall really like what they did with Knuckles as a character in this movie, because if you remember, in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, he was working with Robotnik, but then switched sides. Yeah, that was really cool. Also, we got to see Tails, which was really nice. And also, spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, they had shown us Shadow the Hedgehog, which means that Shadow will probably be in the next movie. I am definitely looking forward to that. Me too. But what else do we have to talk about? We actually never watched the original Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers series, but we have seen Chip and Dale from the Mickey Mouse universe, and we know them pretty well, so we were looking forward to this movie, especially after we saw the trailer.
Yeah, we made a cameo in that.
Oh yes, I remember. You made a cameo in the trailer, and they actually changed your design in the final movie, because in the trailer you were sort of a 3D model, but in the movie, you were designed the same way you were designed in the movie that had the Storm King in it.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
But yes, the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie was really interesting in our opinion. It reminded us quite a bit of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Coincidentally, Roger Rabbit made a cameo in that. But we were very pleased with the movie. We thought it was really good.
Yeah, and they brought in Ugly Sonic. I was not expecting that.
Neither was I. And they even also made Peter Pan the villain, which is kind of interesting because, you know, how a lot of people do say that Peter Pan is the actual villain of the story. So I was wondering if their idea was, hey, everybody thinks that Peter Pan is the villain, so hey, why don't we make him the villain for this movie?
Yeah.
And there were plenty of other characters that made cameos throughout the movie, such as myself when the bootleg tunes were released. Oh yeah, I was there too. Yeah, and even Chip got a Snoopy ear. Remember that, Snoopy? Mm-hmm. Although, admittedly, it kind of looked a little bit more like a Goofy ear to me. Probably because it was the Disney style, that's why I thought it looked like a Goofy ear. But also, let's see, what else was there in the movie? Oh, if you recall, I got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Oh yeah, that's right, you did. If you ask me, that needs to be a real thing. I need an actual star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, honestly, I think SpongeBob would be the one to get it. Really? I mean, come on, the Rugrats got one. Yeah, that's true. That, and also, again, the movie, in our opinion, is pretty great. And, again, we were not expecting Ugly Sonic. Honestly, this movie made Ugly Sonic 100 times better. We were overall happy to see that Jenny, Rocko, and my dad eventually got into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Yes, and I was overall very pleased with my moveset, and I also like how they incorporated Spunky into my moveset, similar to how they incorporated Gurr into Zim's moveset. And even my stage was based on my house from Static Cling. And the stage for my dad was called Duck Duck Pie, which kind of reminded me of that one scene in Holly Jolly Jimmy when my parents were in a fantasy world floating on a giant pie when they were singing Have Yourself a Happy Little Pule. Yeah. And even though I kind of wish I was in the game, I am still happy that my dad got in, and I am just overall happy that I am finally getting some recognition from Nickelodeon again. Still waiting on that 4th season. Yes, but also Jenny actually hasn't been in a game since, I think, Attack of the Toy Bots. Well, there was Super Brawl Universe, but that was only on iPhone and iPad. Sorry, sometimes words just fail me. Yes, but still, it was overall great, and they even got the original voice actors. They got Carlos Alazraqui to do me, and Mark DiCarlo to voice your dad. Oh yes, that was very good. You know, honestly, I feel like Uncle Al's video played a big part in getting my dad into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, overall, it seems like they are done with characters, which is kind of a shame because I do recall that there was a leak about Mr. Krabs being added to the game. Yes, which is kind of unfortunate, but still, I was a little bit skeptical about it because, you know, Clancy Brown, they can't always get Clancy Brown to voice me, so maybe it was for the best that I didn't get in, considering that they probably couldn't get me original voice actor for that. Well, yeah, that is true. Also, for some reason, people were asking for Nick Jr. characters. Yeah, I find that pretty strange. I don't really see Nick Jr. characters working in a fighting game, because, you know, they're Nick Jr. characters. Yeah, but, what did you think, Blue? Yeah, that is kind of strange. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, was amazing. Yes, when it comes to Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, people are pretty split about it, but we personally like it. We still prefer the 2012 series, but we still enjoy Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially the series finale. But this movie is something else. I mean, this movie right here is just instantly became our favorite Ninja Turtles movie after we watched it. Yes, this movie has quite a lot. Yep. I mean, the Krang overall in this are just overall genuinely kind of scary. Because not only of what they do, but how they go about it. Yes, the Krang leader views himself as the strongest creature in existence and views anything that's weak as something that must be destroyed. Overall, he's just a menace. What he did, I mean, the fact that he conquered several planets before Earth just makes him very intimidating. Yes, and also, Casey Jones in this movie is voiced by the same guy who does Sora in Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, and Leonardo in this series and the movie is voiced by Ben Schwartz, who's also the voice of Sonic in the Sonic movies. We also really like Leo's character arc from how he goes to kind of being, you know, a little bit of an egotistical guy and kind of humbles himself, realizes that he doesn't have all the answers. We really like that about his character because that was kind of something in the series. And we are kind of glad that they, you know, built upon that in this movie. Because if you recall, at the end of the series, Splinter appointed Leo as the new leader as opposed to Raph. Which is often the case in Ninja Turtles. Leo is often the leader. Yes, and overall the movie was great. We really loved the action scenes. And probably our favorite scene in the movie overall was when Mikey just rings at the Krang and closes the portal. He's just like, so long, sucker! That does seem like the thing that Mikey would do. Yep. Yes, overall, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is great. If you haven't seen it and you are a fan of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'd recommend it because it is just a blast to watch. Okay, let's get the negatives out of the way first. The biggest negative being the unlockables when it comes to the Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. some of which are unlocked by beating the online mode, which is absolutely ridiculous. What about those who don't play online? And, I mean, we ourselves are pretty big Hey Arnold fans, and the fact that they made Helga unlockable through the online mode is just... That is wrong. It is wrong on so many levels.
It does seem pretty unnecessary.
Yes, that was our biggest complaint. I mean, it's pretty much a complaint with everybody. Also, in order to unlock Raphael, you have to play arena mode 75 times.
75 times?
75 times. Remember that, people. 75 times in order to unlock Raphael. Also, we are pretty upset that Tommy is no longer playable. I mean, he's not even in the pit crew like Angelica, Heifer, and Shredder are. He's just gone from the game, period. Which makes absolutely no sense because he's the main character of the show. But, despite all that, we do overall enjoy Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. For starters, the voice acting. The voice acting is great. They got pretty much almost everybody. Now, the ones they didn't get, I kind of understand, for obvious reasons. They couldn't get the original voices for Arnold, Gerald, Aang, and Toph because their original voice actors were kids when the shows were going on, so they had to get new ones. And Chucky is not voiced by Nancy Cartwright. Honestly, I think it's her role as Bart Simpson that keeps her from voicing Chucky in video games.
Instead, Chucky is voiced by the same person who voices Lucy in The Loud House.
Yes, and she is a fair sound-alike for Nancy Cartwright. She does do a pretty good Chucky in our opinion. We also really like some of the new features that this game has to offer. For one, you can place any character in any cart, which is really nice.
It is kind of a shame that they got rid of the ability to put in any engine for any cart.
Yes, that is kind of a shame, but I think the reason why they removed that was because any character can drive any cart now.
Yes, and we also liked that there were bikes too.
Yes, we really enjoyed that. In terms of new characters, we aren't exactly too mad about these new characters. The one we have a main issue with is Eastman and Laird Raphael and Purple Reptar. For Camp Coral, SpongeBob, and Patrick, we aren't really too mad about them because here's the thing. They have unique dialogue to them that normal SpongeBob and Patrick don't have.
Yes, and we also like that they brought in Powdered Toast Man.
Yes. In terms of new tracks, we definitely like the tracks for SpongeBob, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Jimmy Neutron. We also really like the Ren and Stimpy tracks. The Cat Dog track. And the Ghost Zone, we really like that track.
We also really like the Double Dare track.
Yes. Speaking of which, I'm glad that I'm finally in the game. Although I am kind of confused by the fact that they chose Cindy to be the second rep for my show. Yeah, I found that pretty weird myself. I kind of did have a theory as to why they did that, but then I realized how easily defeated my theory was. What was your theory? Well, my theory was that Cindy was voiced by Carolyn Lawrence, who's also the voice of Cindy from... Sandy from SpongeBob. So I thought since they already have Carolyn Lawrence on board voicing Sandy, they could get her to voice Cindy. But then I remembered Carl is voiced by Rob Paulson, who's the voice of the 87 Raphael. So, yeah, my theory was pretty much defeated after I realized it. But still, I do like that Goddard is a cart. I definitely like that. That is probably my go-to cart. That right there is just awesome. Yes, we really love that about Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. That alone just makes it a great game in our eyes. Okay, there are other things that make it great, but, aside from unlockables, it is still, in our eyes, a pretty good game. However, my biggest complaint with Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 and Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 is the fact that Dog was the one driving and not me.
Oh, come on, Cat. I'm a good driver.
No, you're not, Dog.
Oh, but Cat...
Hey, I drove in the original Nickelodeon Nicktoons Racing.
Oh, Cat,
come on, I'm a good driver, aren't I? Fine, Doug. You're a pretty good driver. If the game thinks so, then I guess you are. Hi-ho, diggly! The Cosmic Shake reveal trailer and gameplay footage blew us away.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to this game now, right, SpongeBob?
Yeah, we've even pre-ordered it already. For two reasons. One, so we can get the game when it officially comes out, and two, for those bonus costumes. We especially like SpongeBob Steel Pants, which was the final boss in Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm hoping that I kind of get some costumes too to go along with your costumes. Because I saw Patar alongside SpongeGar.
Yes, and also the fact that they made our friends the bosses. However, we do kind of have a theory that these really aren't our friends, but rather the Wish World versions of our friends. Possibly, with the exception of Gary.
But who knows? I mean, I still really look forward to this.
I, for one, am very happy that they got me original voice actor Clancy Brown to voice me for this game, which is something that Battle for Bikini Bottom didn't do. Heck, even Rehydrate didn't do that. But still, I am very happy that the original voice actor is back. And we really like the fact that they brought back Prawn for Pirate Goo Lagoon.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. What else is there?
Well, actually, since the game is coming out next year, actually, it's coming out next month, which is the first month of next year. But having the game come out in 2023 is perfect, because 2023 will be the 20th anniversary of the original Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, it could just be a coincidence that it's coming out in 2023, but still, it's a perfect coincidence if that's the case.
Yeah.
As the creator of this channel had stated in his previous video that came out earlier today, again, thank you to everyone for over 200 subscribers now. Yes, we did not think we would get this far in our first year of YouTube. Okay, technically it's not our first full year of YouTube. We actually started back in, I think, August of this year. But still, again, thank you to everyone who has supported us throughout this adventure. And to be on the lookout for our brand new special When Villains Unite coming next year. Yes! It'll probably be the first video we do next year. And again, thank you to everybody who has watched us over the past couple of months. Thank you for watching this video. Again, thank you to everyone who had subscribed. And of course, we hope you all have a happy new year. We hope you all had a good holiday season. And we wish you nothing but the best for 2023. And stay safe.